Hello and welcome to Momita ma'am's English grammar class. As I had already told you that in my previous class that today we would be continuing with articles and we would deal with omission of articles, that is the places where we need not write any article, we need not give any article, or we need to skip the article. So the first thing is before proper material and abstract noun. So when we are using proper noun or material noun or abstract noun, we don't use an article. Like London is a metropolitan city, we don't say London is the London is a metropolitan city, no. Or the India is a land of diversity, we don't say that. We say we just tell the name. If it is a proper noun, we don't use any kind of article. Or we say Rajesh is a brilliant boy. So before proper noun, we never use an article. I won't say never, there are exceptional cases of course, which we would deal later. Now second, see gold. Gold is a precious material. This chain is made of silver. So before material noun, we don't use any article, and before abstract noun, we don't use article. Honesty is the best policy. We don't say honesty, the honesty, or an honesty. We just say honesty is the best policy. I can never forget the days of childhood, of my childhood you can say, but you never write an article there, right? Now there is of course an exception to this rule. So we can use proper noun, we can use an article before proper material and abstract nouns in special cases, in particular sense, when they are used in particular sense. When we say Dara Singh is known as the Hercules of India. Now when we say Hercules is the strongest, was the strongest of all the men, right? Now when we say that, we would never use an article. But when there is a comparison between Dara Singh and Hercules, see, Dara Singh is as strong and as valiant as Hercules. So when we are making a comparison, Dara Singh is known as the Hercules of India, we can use the before that. He is a second Edison, that is, he is as clever and as intelligent as Edison. So we can say he is a second Edison, or he is the second Edison. We can say that, we can use article in that sense. See, here it has been used before a numeral. The boy stood second in the class. We can say the boy stood second in the class. We don't use an article there. I have stood first in the class. So we don't write any article there, right? But in this case we have used an article because it has been used in a special sense. The Mr. Bose. Before names we never write article, but here see, the Mr. Bose who was killed in the war was my uncle. So there may be many Mr. Boses, right? Mr. Akhil Bose, Mr. Nikhil Bose, Mr. Subhas Bose, any Bose. But I am talking about the Mr. Bose who was killed in the battle, who was killed in the war. He was my uncle. So I am definitely talking about a particular Mr. Bose. So in this case also, though it is a proper noun, I have used a the here. The wisdom of Solomon is known to all. I am talking about the wisdom of not any person. I am talking about the wisdom of particularly this person, Solomon. So before abstract noun also we can use the use an article. The cotton, material noun. See, this is material noun. We don't use any article before the material noun, but here I have used. Why? Because I am talking about the cotton which is found in India. The cotton is the best in India, right? I'm sorry, I forgot to write here. The cotton of Ahmedabad is the best in India. It should have been like that. The sentence doesn't make any sense. I must have skipped writing it. The cotton of Ahmedabad. Okay, now what does the second rule say? Before nouns used for the whole class. Man is mortal. I am talking about one man, but with this one man I am actually meaning, or I am actually referring the whole class of man who are mortal. Okay, now certain phrases when preposition is followed by object, there is an object after the preposition. We don't use article. I came by car, right? The car is a four-wheeled vehicle. when I say that, I am using an article. But when the same subject, when the same noun is preceded by an object, or when there is a preposition before the noun, so that the noun becomes its object of the preposition, then I need to skip the article. Now what do you understand by object? If you get an answer to what or whom after the word, after this preposition, that becomes the object of the preposition. Like if you say, what do you say? By what? By car. At what? At what time? At sunset. At worst. In hand. From top to bottom. In these cases, when the phrases or when the preposition are followed by an object, then we never use an. When a transitive verb is followed by its object. Transitive verb refers to those verbs which has its object. Leave what? Leave office. Catch what? Catch fire. Set what? Set sail. Give what? Give ear. Take what? Take heart. In these cases also, we don't use an article here. We don't say take the heart, leave the office, catch the fire. We don't, generally, in general sense, we don't do that. Before the name of single mountain, we say the Himalayas because it refers to a chain of mountain. But we say Mount Everest. We say Sri Lanka because it is a single island. But when we talk about Lakshadweep, we say the Lakshadweep, the Andamans. Right? Why? Because they refer to a group of islands. They are archipelagos. Right? They are group of islands. In those cases, we would be using the. But in these cases, when we talk about single island or single mountain peak, we never use an article. Before the names of continents, countries, capes, cities, towns, days, months, arts, languages, sciences, diseases and objects. Here also we don't use because they are all, most of the time they are common proper noun. They stand as proper noun. January is the coldest month. Biology is my best subject. I love to speak in Bengali. I don't say I love to speak in the Bengali, right? These kinds of sentences. Before common nouns, when they go in pairs, both husband and wife. See, this is pair. So I won't be using both the husband and the wife. I would be saying both husband and wife because the common nouns has been used here in pair. Both before plural nouns used to denote a class. Same thing here. Man, singular noun, but it is denoting the whole class of man. Here, camels, it is denoting the whole class of camels. Camels are useful animals. We don't say camels are the useful animal because these camels, it is denoting to the whole class of camels. Warm clothes are necessary for cold climate. Before the nouns following kind of. What kind of? The flower? No, that is wrong. What kind of flower is it? I want the red flower. You can say I want a red flower or I want the red flower. But when it is preceded by kind of, you don't use any article. Before mealtime, he was at dinner, breakfast has been served. So before mealtime also, we do not use any article. This has been already done in reference to this one. So these are the places where we skip our article.